G'day guys, welcome back to Beyond 23. Well, today's guest is, well, they call him the GOAT. Surely that says enough. Greatest of all time. And he's 1 wicket away from equaling the great Glenn McGrath. There's no doubt he'll get that wicket. There's no doubt he'll go to number 2 on the all-time Australian Test bowling list for most wickets. Can he catch the great Shane Warne? Well, I reckon he can. Nathan Lyon, thank you so much for joining us today, buddy. G'day guys, welcome back to Beyond 23. Today is special because the GOAT, Nathan Lyon, is in town. You know what? Oh, it's better than pup. Not a miniature dog. It's true though. You are the greatest of all time. Right arm off spinner for us, for Australia. And we've had some wonder. Like I remember watching Tim May, Peter Taylor when I was growing up as a kid. Both brilliant bowlers, but I know you hate being courted, but I say fortunately, you might say unfortunately, you are. Yeah. And you're not pup, you're not a miniature dog, you're not a baby dog, so don't complain.
No. Let's just stick with Gary.
Gary's not bad either. That's what I call you. I call you Gary. You been good?
Yeah, going really well, thanks mate.
You didn't go county cricket this year? No,
I went Lancs last year.
Yeah, last year, Lancashire. What was that like? Enjoy it?
Yeah, actually did, yeah.
You love bowling as well, that's the other thing. I think, you know, I remember watching you come into the Australian team and start your career, and if anything, we had to tell you to stop bowling. And I feel like you've sort of kept that going through your career. If you're not playing, you'd rather be getting games under your belt than sitting down doing nothing.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that's where I learn as well. And last year we had a decent break from Test cricket. I think we didn't play from February to November. So we looked at it as a really good opportunity to go over there and play some county cricket and also go over and travel Europe during summer
as well.
Paid holiday basically.
I just come back from Sardinia. I sat down with Lalit Modi, which was interesting as well. And the reason I bring him up is because I was really surprised at how much he loves Test cricket. Obviously, starting the IPL, I think everybody would assume he's 2020 focused, but even speaking to him recently, he was like, I think he thinks one-day cricket's had its time, but he thinks Test cricket still needs to remain the pinnacle of our sport. And again, even, you know, you've played 139 Test matches, I think, and I've been super surprised at the lack of one-day cricket and T20 cricket you've played for Australia. That's just my personal opinion, because I think you're a genius in all three formats and probably haven't got that opportunity. But how important is Test cricket for you, not only because it's the format you play, you know, most of, but moving forward the next 10, 20 years, where do you see that and how important is that?
I see it as it's a pinnacle for any Australian kid, but even around the world. Test cricket, or any cricket in my eyes, is built around defence, and you see a lot of guys playing ramp shots and all this stuff now. But if I'm ever coaching kids, I'm like, you need to work on the defence, because if you can last 10 balls, you can last 30 balls, you're going to score runs. If you not going to last them that long, you're not going to score any runs.
What about bowling-wise?
The same thing.
Can you explain that to me, Gaz? Because I'm interested in that. I understand, you know, your stock ball is so important in any format, but explain to me the defensive side of your bowling, or spinner's bowling particularly, that you use in, like you say, Test cricket, one-day cricket, and even in T20s?
Well, no, you're one of the best captains I've ever played on, especially tactically. So you look at that and you go, okay, well, my part of my biggest challenge at the start of my career was trying to find to stay away, to stay on. So it didn't allow you to go, oh, he's going at 8s or 10s, let's take him off. Let's go, okay, well, how can I get into my spell and bowl longer spells? Because as a spinner, in my eyes, that's where you're going to create the chances. And I'm not going to blast teams out like Stark and come on, these guys can. So I'm going to get my wickets in 17, 18, 19, 20 in my head, understanding if I can bowl with either defensive field and attacking mindset, or attacking mindset with defensive field, but just try and understand on how to go about it and all that stuff. So.
In T20 cricket versus Test cricket, how do you work your speed? Because again, watching from afar, I feel like spinners are bowling faster now than ever before. But I remember facing you a lot in the nets, and I always felt that was one of your strengths, being able to manage your speed or use speed up, so faster, speed down, different conditions. How do you work that in different formats?
So it really depends on who you're bowling to, the grounds, the conditions and all that stuff. But also, I believe, and I've probably got to this part later in my career, you can bowl any pace that you want as a spinner, but you have to still have the energy on the ball to get the ball to drop.
Yeah, okay.
So
are you trying, because again, people talk about Warnie, you could hear the fizz on the ball. There is parts of that was true. You know, certainly fielding close to him, when he released the ball, you could hear the fizz. I can't remember too many times when I faced him, when the ball come to me, I could still hear it fizzing. But the point for Warnie was how many revs he puts on the ball. Is it the same as an off spinner? Are you trying to spin the ball out of your hand every ball?
yeah, 100%. My job is to spin the ball. So I'm a big one on now controlling from wherever we, as bowlers, start our run up to where we release it. Actually don't have a clue whether it's going to spin down there, but we're going to give it the best chance here.
Yeah, okay.
So all my revs are generated through my legs and all my power and explosive power, exactly what Warnie did.
Yeah.
But we probably just didn't talk about it as much as what we probably do now.
Yeah, I think because there's this, it's not a myth because it's true, the back of their hand bowler generally, probably because you're using your whole hand to spin the ball, shoulder, full body, generally spin the ball more than an off spinner. But, you know, you look at Murali spun it big, Harbhajan spins it big, you spin it big. I think it's underrated. The point you just made there, the work that you do, and you always spoke about this, from starting your run up to releasing the ball. It's not just your hand that is making the ball spin.
And another thing, everyone says that I was finger spin, but the reality is I use my wrist as well.
Yeah.
So it's not wrist spin as in going around the whole back of the ball, but
Yeah.
for me, I'm still using wrist and get my fingers up the back of the ball. So part of my blueprint is cocking my wrist to snap it at the top of my action. But the reality is I can't control what happens down.
Yeah, what
the
happens
bowls
off the surface.
But
I reckon that's one of your strengths, Gaz. Like, again, your record in Australia is as good as any spin bowler in the world to ever come to Australia, and it's because I think you can get a batsman out before the ball bounces. So you're taking out the natural variation. Day 1 versus day 5 is very different, but it's the work, which means you can get drift on the ball, which means a batsman comes down the crease, you can get him stumped. You can bowl a straighter line, different field, you can get bounce. Is that trained? Is that natural?
No, I think when I first started back in Sri Lanka, I had no idea what I was doing. That's
Work
where,
first ball.
Yeah, but
Has there been another spinner in Australia's history to not only get a wicket on their first ball in Test cricket, but to take 5 for in their first Test match?
I'm not sure.
I think you are sure. I've got to check that.
Yeah,
I don't think there would be.
You can check that.
And not a bad player either. Just
Decent player, but I had no idea what I was doing there because I only played 4 Shield games, and that's where I was very lucky and grateful that the likes of you, Haddon, Hussey, Ponting, especially those you 4, were able to guide me in a way at training. It's probably the biggest thing, but one thing I learnt bowling to you guys is that I never really focused on technique while I was at training.
Yeah.
Whenever there was a batter, it was always, okay, compete. How are you competing? Yes, we'd have conversations on what you're finding difficult or what you weren't finding difficult. So that then allowed me to go back and reassess and go, okay, well, if Pup's doing this or Punter's doing this, what can I do to change that?
Does that change now? As you obviously played a hell of a lot more now, when you go to training, is that mindset different? When you go to bowler versus batter in the nets, is your mindset different?
No,
Exactly
it's always competing. Even though I've bowled to Smithy for the last 13 years.
So you're trying to get him out every time you're bowling. Are you telling him the field that you would have? How does that? Because again, I talk from. I remember we would bowl, you would bowl, I would bat, and my brain would always think, he's got a bat pad leg side, so I can't do that. Or are you having that conversation with a batter at training? Is it that competitive?
Yeah. We're setting out fields, and Smithy's first thing every time he walks in, he goes mid on up or mid on back.
Yeah, wow.
And I've bowled to him long enough now. I know where to put them.
They're already there, mate. You don't have to ask.
Yeah, exactly. So, those conversations are happening. I think it's crucial for kids as well to learn how to compete.
Yeah.
Because when you get into the game, that's what you need to do the best.
What about young boys and young girls? I remember one of our very first conversations as captain and bowler in the middle of a test match was you were very comfortable bowling around the wicket. And I wanted you to bowl over the wicket. I just thought, something different. There was a bit of rough and you were like, I'm more comfortable around. I was like, I want you to bowl over. Ended up staying around. I think might have been Schlank. You got 5 wickets anyway. But now I feel like growth, development, and of course it's time and confidence, but give you a brand new ball, bowl you 5th over the game, bowl you 80th over, bowl around the wicket, bowl over the wicket, bowl duke, bowl kookaburra, bowl white ball, red ball. Now it is... just give me the ball, I want to bowl. How does your journey go from, the young bowler playing for your country? It's not like we're playing club cricket. You're playing at the highest level for Australia, feeling so comfortable only bowling around the wicket to where you sit now, nearly 600 test wickets.
Yeah, I think it's part of your journey. You find a place that works really well, because when I did start bowling around the wicket there, I think we're talking about, it wasn't in Sri Lanka, it was in Melbourne at the Ashes.
Might have been Ashes series, yeah.
Yeah, I remember it
was in
pretty
Australia.
Clearly.
It was in Australia?
Yeah, because I look at, we were able to have a lot of stats and analyst stuff, but like you look, if I bowled over the wicket to Ian Bell, his strike rate was 70 plus. And if I come around the wicket, it dropped down to 32. So then suddenly I was thinking, well, and with John Davis, I'm like, why would I just play to these strengths the whole time? And let's look at some weakness. And then suddenly with my ability to spin the ball, suddenly I'm pitching everything in line. You can't get outside the line. I'm bringing outside edge to you, bringing inside edge to bat pad. So there's the modes of dismissals were a higher percentage.
Bowling around the wicket. I wish you told the captain that.
I couldn't tell him
No,
anything.
you did. Actually, probably. What about bowling different countries? Again, I think of young cricketers that make their way into international cricket. It's a hard place to learn your craft, but a big part of international cricket, the significant difference between first class and international, is playing in all conditions, learning to be able to bowl in South Africa, bowl in England, then go and bowl in India or Bangladesh. How have you managed that? And does much change? Like we always talk about batters do use a heavier bat or a lower middle in the subcontinent versus in Australia or South Africa because of the speed of the wickets and the bounce. What about from a spinner's perspective? Is there any significant changes you make?
No, I try and keep it incredibly simple. I'm lucky enough that I've got the self-belief now that wherever I go in the world, my best ball, whether it's Australia, whether it's Bangladesh, South Africa, India, that will work if you have full confidence in it.
Yeah.
It's more my mindset. If I'm going on a subcontinent tour, it's okay, everyone expects you to go take wickets, and it doesn't happen like that.
Yep.
For me, if I'm bowling with Matty Kuhneman or Todd Murphy or a younger spinner, I always talk about, okay, let's go and 2 runs or less and over.
Yeah, okay.
Just have a pure, simple game plan like that.
Does that take wickets?
That takes wickets out of it. Because if you've played a lot more than what I have, but if you look at it, for anyone watching, you go, if you simplify it, and if you go 2 runs less and over, you're bowling minimum 4 dot balls.
You're building pressure.
Yeah.
Keeping the same batter on strike, now you're a chance of a wicket. Yeah, wow. I reckon that is... I don't think that's spoken enough about, Gaz. Like, I think we always think run save in short form, but I think it's exactly what you're saying. To be able to just simplify every part of your game, you give yourself the best chance of success.
Or even in T20, one of my game plans is, doesn't matter if I'm playing for the Renegades this year, it'll be try and bowl 2 to 3 dot balls and over. And like the guys these days, they don't want dot balls at all.
Worst case, you want to be up the other end. If you're not hitting a boundary, the least you can do is get a single.
So like just simplifying that.
What about then the fielding side of things? Because I think Australian cricket particularly, but I think New South Wales cricket have always been the same. We've worked hard on fielding being a priority. How important is that then for a spinner? Like you say, you want to keep a batter on strike. How important is that fielding from the rest of your team to help you have success?
It's massive, and that's why I try and pride myself off my own bowling, because if you're good off your own bowling, willing to dive, willing to attempt to take a catch, willing to try and hold every catch you take, that comes, you can't blame anyone else if they happen to drop a catch, because no one means to drop it, and it's the worst feeling in cricket. Yeah. But if you're owning it off your own bowling, then you kind of set the standard.
Has the game changed much? Like we sit here at Bodywell, my friends here who are awesome, been awesome friends for a long time, and they have every form of recovery I think I've ever seen in my life here, and I love coming to this place, and I wish I had it when I played. Has the game changed in regards to the professional athlete when you first started to where you see players now? Because there's definitely no doubt you're seeing boys look bigger, look stronger. Again, in the shorter format, you're seeing him hit a lot more sixes. But, this type of stuff, are you guys, is this a big part of what you do? Recovery, physical training, mental training? Like, where's it sit now versus when I played?
You were pretty good with your training and all that stuff. So, I think the nuts and bolts of the game are still pretty similar. But the reality is it is a full-time business now, and at the highest level. And so recovery and the players in the side that we're in now, they take full control of that. So it is professional, but we still have our fun and all that stuff.
What about drinking? Like, you still, if you win, I'd assume Aussies particularly, we're still celebrating. You're allowed to go and drink, and that hasn't changed?
Yeah, no, that hasn't changed, but I think it's got probably from when I first started with a couple of players. I feel like that's probably changed a little bit, and guys are willing to, I don't know, put it down a lot earlier than what we probably did.
Yeah, we hated quitting. We liked starting, we hated quitting. We enjoyed celebrating. Okay, so that's changed a little bit. In regards to the professional athlete or the physical, boys train just as hard 15 years ago to what they train now. What do they seem? Why do you boys, like, even I saw you today, I'm like, Lino, you look bigger.
That's just you getting older.
Maybe I'm shrinking.
No, but I don't know. I do a lot of work with Tom Carter behind the scenes. All the guys got their own stuff, like their own batting coach. So the way you look at it, your body is your own, or you as an individual own business. So if you can invest time in that, then you'll hopefully get rewards.
Can you do that? Because I know, Cricket Australia would have their own strength and conditioning, physio, doctor. Can you bring your own staff into, on tour, or do you do that when it's home time? You can do what you want. When it's team time, you've got to use Australian stuff.
I can only talk for me, but I do all my New South Wales stuff. I do all my CA stuff. But then on top of that, I'll see Tom Carter at home, gym at home, and we'll do our stuff there too.
All personal stuff.
Yeah, okay. As I said, just try and own it.
Yeah. What about family? Because again, 37, still bowling like a genius. I'm not talking for you, but I hope there's no thought of my time's come, because I still think you've got so much cricket to play and you're fit and healthy. How do you deal with, or how often do you take your family? Obviously, wife and kids, 3 kids now. Do you travel a lot? Is that a hard part of playing sport at the highest level, having to leave them and go away on tours and stuff?
Yeah, that's getting harder. Yeah. There's no point in hiding behind that. The sacrifices that you make. My 2 older ones live down in Canberra with their mum, so I see them whenever I'm home, which is amazing. But Em and our little one, they try and come. I think that's incredibly important, because
I agree.
Like everyone, or 90% of the public, they do their work. It's high stress environments, high pressure, and they get to go home and relax and be around the people that they choose to be with. So I think that's incredibly important for professional athletes. If they've got the ability to take their family with them, I don't see it as a distraction. I think it's total opposite.
Yeah, I agree. Tell me about the journey, buddy, because like I say, I was lucky enough to see your very first ball at the highest level, and it's been a stellar career already, but there's no such thing as rainbows and butterflies. I know there's been some tough times. How important is it to be honest about that? Like, for professional athletes to actually accept it, speak about it, embrace it, get through it?
Yeah. Well, when you get dropped, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point being like that. And you dropped me a couple of times.
Don't dare blame me.
But even like last Test match, like I was gutted when I missed that.
And Starkey's 100th as well. That would have hurt. That would have hurt.
Yeah. So I was gutted because of Starkey's 100 because we want to go out there, but also I've got that belief that I can play
any conditions.
In any conditions, any ball. So that sucks. But I feel like you got to try and understand why, and try and in a way try and find a way to keep the selectors, coach or captain accountable.
Accept the decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I heard, I can't remember who it was. One of the commentators was talking about Australia could play.
Brendan Julian.
BJ, was it? There you go. I'm glad you've read it. And I love BJ, great fella, but I couldn't disagree more. In Test match cricket, the conditions have to be like, it has to be the green, it needs to look like your backyard to think about not playing a spinner. Test match over 5 days, that's for me personally. I'm even the whacker, how it's been over the last few years, I'm still picking you. If you had a green top at the Gabba, which I can't remember ever having, but you got pace and bounce, I'm still picking you. I don't agree to the theory of in Australian conditions, you can pick no spinner, and I think that's going to be a defining factor in this Ashes series. So like I say, love BJ, but I disagree completely.
You look at that Test match over in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Honestly, we walked out. Matt Coonan and I walked out before the game, and you get the curator said, "Oh, don't worry, guys, I want a 2-day Test match." So then I think that influenced the decision of being on a 2-day Test match.
And the result, it's like winning the toss and bowling first. If you win, you get away with it. So because we dominated and the wicket did, it was a seeming minefield.
Yeah, and like if I'm going to miss out for anyone, Scotty Boland's the one that you want. But I feel like here in Australia, you've already got three of the best quicks to ever play the game, run around. Hopefully they're all fit. But then if one of them not, you throw Scotty in there, and then you got 3, 4.
Webster, Cam Green will be bowling by then as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So you've already got 4 to 5 quicks without. I think, yes, I know it's my position I'm talking about, but
I think you're right.
I feel like you need that variation to totally, especially if guys and Bazball are going at one pace and you need some variation to get them thinking slightly different.
Definitely. And I think the other thing that I've always believed is spin bowling doesn't necessarily need to come on and take you wickets. There's other roles. You change the pace of the game. You can set fields to change a batter's mindset. You can defend with a spinner. You can attack with a spinner. I think the myth that a spinner's job is to come on, spin the ball square and take wickets, otherwise don't pick him. The Test match is a 5-day game. I might need you way more on day 3, 4, 5 than I need you on day 1 and 2. Or, which has been the case, I've needed you more on day 1 than I've needed you because we've got reverse swing, up and down bounce on day 5.
Yeah, and I think a lot goes into managing your quicks as well. If part of my role is to try and hold an end up to give Starkey, Hoff, Bowler, Camo, whoever's playing, that extra 10, 15 minutes can make a big difference if we're heading towards a second year ball.
Yeah, tell me about those 3 quicks, because again, I bring up Warney. I can't ever remember talking to Warney about his bowling where he didn't praise Glenn McGrath, where he didn't say, yep, Pigeon allowed me to do that, or Pigeon did his job at that end that made me a better bowler. And I feel like you have always done the same about Stark, Hazelwood and Cummins.
Oh, well, they're massive. They're generational players. Yeah. And I don't think...
Do they get enough credit, do you reckon?
Oh, well...
Or is that something that comes post your career when you retire?
No, they pump their own tyres up. All I see is a headline, Big 3, Big 3. And I'm like, okay,
where have you gone?
Yeah,
where's the mini four?
Holding them. Don't worry about that. But no, like they're exceptional. And I thoroughly enjoy bowling with each and every one of them. Like, they're all different in a way, and like someone like Josh, okay, I can probably go a little bit more attacking and be willing to go 3 to 4, 5 runs and over with the chance of taking a couple of wickets, knowing that he's going for 1 or less and over.
Yeah, okay.
But when Starkey's going, you go, okay, well, Stark and Camo, and you go, well, these guys potentially blow out a team.
Yeah.
So like, let's just hold back and let's go for 2 runs or
they're
less.
wicket-taking, aggressive bowlers. So okay, that's interesting as well. So your role not only varies on day of the game, conditions you're bowling in, but it could be who's up the other end.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, wow. What again? I love the talk around the Ashes means more to a player than any other Test series. I love it more now post-retiring, because when I played, when you walk out to bat or walk out to field or walk out to captain, you don't lose any game. No one wants a duck, everyone wants 100. No one wants 0 wickets, everyone wants 5 wickets, whether you're playing Bangladesh, South Africa, India or England. So as a player, it was hard to understand that. But now I get it because of the build-up that comes media, fans around Australia versus England. Now I can understand it a lot more. How does it sit with you? Obviously, the Test series just gone India-England, 2-2 draw. Where do you see, or do you look forward to this series, which I know the answer to that, and where do you see Australia being able to dominate and win the series? Because you're not going to sit here and tell me England are going to win.
No, well, that's...
And I don't think they will either.
That's a stupid question when you get asked in a press conference, what's the score going to be?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say 3-1.
We're not going to lose.
I'd never go into the game thinking I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, the theatre around the Ashes series, even India last year, it's getting bigger and bigger.
The crowds were phenomenal last year.
And if you talk to CA about the numbers that they've sold already, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like the amount of English fans are coming out, which is amazing. So the theatre is getting bigger and bigger, and we can only embrace that. But as a player, it just comes back down to, it's pretty cliche stuff, but doing the basics for long enough. But they're always talking about playing baseball and that. I think they're still playing that positive brand of cricket, but they're starting to think about...
They're different against India.
Yeah, they're actually stopped. It looks to me like they're not being as reckless.
Yeah.
And they're trying to actually figure out, okay, we can still win this game by doing this. Or
I think they're picking their time. I don't think they've lost their intent. I went to Lords to watch the Test match. I think it was the 3rd Test against India. I just think they're picking their time a bit better. If there's a time to go from ball 1, they're going. If the conditions are conducive, if it's doing a bit, I think they're playing a bit smarter with that, call it baseball intent.
yeah,
Does that change? Does that help your mindset? Thinking with that comes risk as a bowler bowling to someone that's looking to be aggressive. I'm in the game here.
no, that's what I'd much rather bowl that than someone that's then faff blocking it in Adelaide in 2012. I've still got nightmares about that.
You're not the only one.
You want guys to try and take you on, and the grounds in Australia are slightly a bit bigger, but I've been hit for the most Test match sixes ever in Test match cricket history.
Have you really?
So don't
How
worry
many
about
sixes you been hit for?
It's well over 300. Let's put it that.
It's all right. You made up for
And
it. 500. How many wickets? 564.
Nah.
How many?
562.
562. Does that? I don't even know if it's a legitimate question. I'm like, because I know you're not a stats man. Like, you don't walk out onto the field thinking, rightio, I'm here for statistics. I wouldn't insult you like that. But when it gets to numbers like that, like, does it feel? Does it sink in? Do you understand, like, and I know our sport is not just about statistics, it's how you play the game, don't get me wrong, but Lino, like, you're one of the all-time, you're not far from being, the greatest. Like, it's possible. No. It's possible. Does your brain even think about that?
No, I'm never going to be the greatest because Shane Warne. No.
What if you get there? What are you going to do? You're going to retire the game before?
Might do.
You probably would. Probably would. You're that good at it.
I play the game to win and sing the song with your teammates, like, and win series. That's all it is. Like, to have 562 and be one behind Glenn McGrath. That's like it's pretty surreal.
Yeah.
Considering my journey and where the pathway that I've taken to get here, but I think you look at that, and you can probably touch on it more than me, but you can look at those things when you retire and be extremely proud and sit down with your family and friends and have a couple of drinks and go, shit, that was fun. But at the moment, while you're in it, it's about, okay, what's my role and how can I do it?
Yeah. Two things that I want to talk to you about. The pink ball. This year, this Ashes, day-night test is the Gabba, not Adelaide. How does a spinner, is that any different? Do conditions change much for you? And do you like day-night tests?
Yeah, I like day-night test, but if I'm being brutally honest, I think it's the only place is Adelaide.
Yeah, I loved it at Adelaide as well.
Damo does an incredible job as the head curator down there, and he knows what the wicket needs to be conducive for the pink ball.
Yeah.
Where I think we've had 2 pink balls, maybe 3 up in Brisbane.
In Shield cricket?
No, in Test cricket. And
Have we really?
Pakistan near chase 400 in one game.
Yeah, okay.
We beat Sri Lanka, then the West Indies beat us up there.
Yeah.
And not saying it because we nearly lost and we did lose. The wicket can be a lot harder than what Adelaide is. Then the ball potentially goes a lot softer, a lot quicker.
Yeah, wow, so hard to get a breakthrough.
Can potentially be, yeah.
What about under lights with the pink ball up there? I thought it'd move around a lot more. Only because I think one-day cricket under lights at the Gabba probably moves more than anywhere else.
Well, usually I have to do this night watchman job, but when you blokes get scared.
Mate, honestly.
I know you weren't the biggest fan of it, but
I hate a night watchman.
But yeah, I know that does something, but I think that's part of the theatre around the whole game and what people want to see.
Just handed over the team song to Alex Carey, who again I reckon is an absolute champion. I love him to bits, so I think your decision who to hand it to, I think you made the right decision. How long did you think about it? Why is now the right time? And is it something in your career that you look back on as one of your proudest achievements to be able to lead the team song?
By far the proudest moment throughout my career. And why? I just kind of felt like I ran my race with it a little bit. Held it for 126 Test matches, 67 wins in that time, and I just knew humour. My jokes are probably a lot of people don't get my humour.
Mate, they're long gone after 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Let alone 15 years.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't get my humour, and it's just a totally new era. So
yeah, wow. And did you have to think much about who to hand it to? Was it what's the process, or you just go with your gut? And can you give it to? Do you have to ask someone permission? Can you just give it to them? How does it work?
I didn't ask for any permission or anything like that. That's the way I look at it. Is it's an incredible job, incredible honour, and I wanted to pick the person. I didn't want someone else to say, "Oh no, I think you should do this."
Yeah.
And then part of the reason why I handed the song, I'd much rather people say, why did you hand the song over, rather than why don't you hang it?
Yeah, okay,
because it's so incredibly important to...
It's a big part of our culture, isn't it?
Not just the player, but the staff who do all the stuff behind the scenes to get the players right to go out there and perform. It's
definitely something, it's one of the things you miss when your time's up, definitely. I think you cherish those moments where you know, some of the places that we sung the team song, the winds that create the environment for allow us to sing that team song. Well, you did it well. You certainly did it proud. Retirement, like I said, I'm hoping it doesn't come into your mind. Is it a series? Is it winning versus losing? Is it an age? How does it work for you in that thought process of when my time does come?
I honestly haven't thought about it much, to be honest with you, because I know every press conference I go do now, they ask about it. But like, I thoroughly enjoy playing cricket. I thoroughly enjoy trying to get better. Like, from this, I'm going straight out to bowl at Cricket New South Wales, and I'm not playing for another 7 or 8 weeks. And it's like, well, there's the stuff I want to try and improve on. I've always said that cricket's a game that no one will ever conquer. There's so much learning, and when you have the opportunity to hopefully play with the 3 big quicks and Scotty Boland and these guys and Smithy and Trav Head and whoever it is in that Australian team, it's incredibly important. And people say you're a long time retired, so why
rush
give
it?
it up?
Yeah, I agree, buddy. I agree, and you're still fit and healthy. The only other thing, which I think is a great place for Australian cricket, lot to talk about, a few batting positions. Does that make Shield cricket, which I know you love, does that make Shield cricket really important at the start of this year leading up to the Ashes?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think Shield cricket should be important in every year if I'm being that, because that's the Test cream doesn't grow if Shield cricket isn't strong. So I think I'm playing 3 out of the 4 first Shield games. So awesome. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's going to be a good old-fashioned bat off, isn't it?
Love it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
But saying that, there's no one's guaranteed to be selected in Australian cricket. You still got to perform.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's when we are at our best, though. You got blokes making runs in Shield cricket. If you miss out, you know you're going to get dropped. Yeah. And same as a bowler. If you're not bowling well, there's someone to take your spot. I think that's when we're at our best, and always have been.
Yeah, 100%.
So, what was the? I wanted to ask you about the stuff you're doing now, in and around. I know you're doing stuff for. Is it blind cricket? The Australian blind cricket team?
Disabilities.
Disabilities. Sorry, I've seen you do stuff for that, which I think is unbelievable. Did I see you do something for indoor cricket?
No.
Didn't do that?
No.
I thought I saw something, you doing something for indoor cricket. Might have been somebody else doing something for indoor cricket as well. My point is how important is giving back to the game while you're playing, but also...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What was it?
I've started a business called Goated, and I've been literally just got back yesterday. I've been going out to country kids to get access to Test players.
That's what it might have been. Okay.
Inspire.
I saw it online the other day. I thought, okay.
Yeah, inspire boys and girls to chase a dream and realising in the country kids pathways that you went through, and 17, 19s, Aussie 19s, whatever it may be. They kind of think that if I'm not in the under 17s or 19s,
I can't make it.
Yeah, I can't make it. And my story is exactly the opposite. Yeah. So I want to try and, I don't know, just go out there, and we ended up talking to about 350 or 400 people. And,
amazing.
I took like my Tom Carter and leadership guru out with me, so it's good fun.
Will you keep doing that, do you think? Is that for after cricket as well? Where do you what do you want to do apart from sit on the beach and relax for a bit? Which, trust me, it doesn't last long.
No.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do after cricket?
Inspire younger guys, boys and girls, to go play the game.
Yeah.
I think there's a role in coaching, mentoring. I don't want to go head coach or anything like that, but in and around Australian spin coaches, I feel like there's a lack of that at the moment.
Yep.
So I think there's a role there, but who knows?
Worry about it when you have to.
I'll go back and do nice Gary's Gardens.
You're not doing no gardens. Thank you, champion.
Thank
always
you.
Good to see you. Always good to speak to you. Good luck, Ashes series. Good luck in the Shield games, firstly, but good luck in the Ashes series. I'm with you. I think Australia is too strong. I'm definitely with you. You'll be playing all 5 Test matches, but thank you for your time, buddy. Always appreciate it.